Does it help to have someone to talk to?
There has been an extensive news about the probability of an Oscar win or nomination of Joaquin Phoenix for the new Joker movie. It has been promoted widely that this three-time Oscar nominee plus director Todd Phillips have transformed the infamous clown's beginnings into a dauntless psychodrama, which they claim to be very different to the Hollywood comic book movies in recent times. Yes, very different perhaps, but all DC fans know that there is always a psychological drama behind the various versions of Joker's origins. But what exactly are the things that will make Joaquin Phoenix win? How could he have portrayed the Joker magnificently that the Toronto International Film Festival has been giving early praises? This video will try to enumerate his past life experiences and relevant filmography that I believe have contributed to his portrayal, while comparing some behaviors to Joker's published roots, factors that in my opinion will make him win the Oscars. Let's begin. The Cult. The religious sect called the Children of God, a very controversial cult in the 70s, got Joaquin Phoenix's family captivated, spellbound, and traveled around Central and South America to invite followers. For a time, the parents felt strong religious ties and truly believed that they were part of a peaceful community with like-minded individuals who shared common ideals. It was later reported that this cult persuaded sex between adults and kids, as well as incest and group sex. Allegedly, they also encouraged the female members to use charm and sex to attract rich followers, a strategy they called flirty fishing. In the Gotham series, it is insinuated that the cult of Jerome is the precursor to the creation of the Joker. The character Jerome Valeska is portrayed as the main leader of a juvenile terrorist group that seemed to enjoy wearing clown makeup. It can be seen on that TV series that any one of his followers could have easily been the loyal fanatic who would follow Valeska's footsteps and eventually become the clown prince of crime. In Batman Beyond and the Injustice comic book series, the Joker also had his own cults.
Aw, the no-fun boy had an accident. We're the Jokers!
Sure you are.
Poverty. As early as 3 years old, Joaquin Phoenix has already been working. Because of poverty, he and his siblings busked and performed on the streets of Los Angeles, California. They learned to sing, dance, and play some instruments so they can have something to eat. On those years, his family of 7 lived on a one-bedroom apartment where the children need to hide frequently at the back of the dryer for several hours. This is because the owner is only allowing the parents to live there. Actually, this is already an improvement to their living conditions since they used to live in a car. The late River Phoenix, eldest brother of Joaquin, mentioned in one of his interviews that they used to live in a desperate situation. River was also reported to have a learning difficulty for being unable to attend school during his childhood years.
Because I come from an entirely different situation, something that...
What is your family life like? Now I know you're professional people, but you know, when you're the family unit, what are you like?
It's hard to say. We're all over the place. There's a lot of stuff that's out there in the open as far as feelings.
In Alan Moore's award-winning graphic novel, The Killing Joke, the Joker is also initially motivated by poverty. He left his job as a lab assistant in a chemical factory to become a stand-up comedian but failed miserably before starting a life of crime. Unable to feed his wife, he joined a minor gangster of Gotham and was known as the Red Hood. His pregnant wife died on the same day, yet he was unable to escape this criminal faction.
Oh God, I'm sorry. I don't mean to take this out on you. You're suffering enough being married to a loser
Honey, that's not...
Yes, it is true. I can't support you. Oh, Jeannie.
Child abuse. Joaquin Phoenix never admitted to any speculations that he was sexually abused or molested during their stay with the Children of God. The brother, River Phoenix, however, disclosed that his first sexual experience while in the cult was when he was only 4 years old. After that, he was obsessed with unhealthy sexual thoughts throughout his childhood and adolescent years. Upon realizing this horrible situation, the family moved back to the US and changed their name from Bottom to Phoenix, a name which was later proven useful when they got into the entertainment industry. Inadvertently, Joaquin's first movie is called Kids Don't Tell, a docudrama released in 1985 dealing with child molestation, with Joaquin playing the role of Frankie, one of the students participating in the research.
Hi, what's your name?
Frankie.
Frankie, my, that's a nice name. Would you like to come and play with me?
Oh, no. My mommy told me not to play with strangers.
In 1989, in the movie Parenthood, he played a kid who loves to be alone with his bags of pornographic materials. A child of divorced parents, he decided to leave his mother but was refused by his own father.
If I stay with you for a while? A few months? Okay.
In the blockbuster hit The Dark Knight, the Joker, portrayed by the late Academy Award winner Heath Ledger, tells his story on how he got his scar on his face, which signified momentous child abuse and physical trauma from his own father during his younger years.
You want to know how I got these scars? My father was a drinker and a fiend. And one night, he goes off crazier than usual. Mommy gets the kitchen knife to defend herself. He doesn't like that. Not one bit. He comes at me with the knife. Why so serious? He sticks the blade in my mouth. Let's put a smile on that face.
Grief and guilt. On October 31, 1993, Joaquin watched as his eldest brother, River Phoenix, die from a drug overdose of a deadly combination of heroin, cocaine, and Valium called Speedball. Joaquin called 911 to get help, but they were too late. River was only 23 years old. Aside from this harrowing experience of seeing a beloved brother die in front of him, the media quickly reveled to that news and continuously played the 911 call all over the nation. The sorrow felt by the Phoenix family was quickly aggravated by mockery. On River's 20th death anniversary, it was reported by a journalist named Gavin Edwards on his book that River Phoenix could have survived if Joaquin and his friends sought help earlier. He claims that Joaquin insisted that everything was okay and only called 911 when River started having a seizure. Grief has once again covered the Phoenix family, but now with a trace of guilt. In the comics The Brave and the Bold, Volume 3, Number 31, the Atom was trying to cure the Joker of a neurological fatal disease by going deeply into his disturbed mind. In his journey, the Atom found troubling memories where the Joker witnessed his parents killing animals. Shortly after that, the Atom found another memory of the Joker burning his own parents. In The Killing Joke, the Joker's wife and their unborn child died during his absence. In a 1995 film To Die For, co-starring Nicole Kidman, Joaquin fascinatingly played an unstable high school student who was seduced and manipulated by Kidman to kill her husband. In the Gotham series, Jerome Valeska, a character similar to the Joker, killed his own mother.
Why did you kill your mother, Jerome?
Oh, you know how mothers are. She just kept pushing. And I'm like, fine, Mom, be a whore. Be a drunken whore even. But don't be a nagging, drunken whore. You know?
Addiction. In the movie Walk the Line, released in 2005, Joaquin played an anxious but illustrious musician who was constantly battling drug and alcohol abuse. He played this role so persuasively that he got his first Academy Award nomination and his first Golden Globe win for Best Actor. Losing a family member and guilt are one of the major factors for someone to go on a downward spiral. Accounts from different sources revealed that Joaquin made groundbreaking performance because he was also battling alcoholism in real life. Joaquin disputed these allegations, saying that he researched carefully about the character. However, he went into rehab after filming and claimed that the rehabilitation was the best decision of his life. Being a chemical engineer and having the ability to develop poisonous concoctions, it was hypothesized by a fan-made article in Reddit that the Joker may have also been a drug addict. This article became famous because of descriptions of close similarities of the Joker's behaviors to the usual symptoms of substance abuse. Moreover, in the video game Injustice 2, while battling Scarecrow, Harley Quinn admitted to a history of using drugs.
Please, I used to huff this stuff for kicks.
Domestic abuse. In 2013, Joaquin starred in the movie The Immigrant. Set in the 1920s New York, the protagonist, played by Marion Cotillard, was exploited and pushed into prostitution by Joaquin's character, Bruno Weiss. Weiss eventually falls in love with her in a controlling fashion through jealous rage and economic abuse.
And you do not take her. Ever.
Oh, let me guess. You're falling for her. Well, first, selling her on the street is probably the wrong sentiment to send.
Bruno?
What are you doing? Put that away.
Of course, we already know the numerous domestic violence suffered by Harley Quinn from the Joker on different occasions.
Big shots from folks who just don't get the joke.
What are you gonna do? You gonna kill me, Mr. J?
What?
Oh, I'm not gonna kill you.
I'm just gonna hurt you. Really, really bad.
Fake mental illness. With the sudden fame of reality shows in the early 2000s, Joaquin in 2008 starred as himself and co-wrote his own reality show called I'm Still Here. With Casey Affleck as the director, this documentary, aside from revealing various private moments and male frontal nudities, Joaquin showed the numerous torments he encountered and breakdowns he made, starting from when he announced to the public that he was retiring as an actor and pursuing a career as a hip-hop artist. Apparently, this film was actually a mockumentary. Joaquin was just faking all of his nervous breakdowns and reactions, and so were all the other actors. He also faked his drug addiction in the film.
The nigga in charge over here. Who's the nigga in charge? Don't look at it, dude. Don't look at it. No, bitch, I got a whole lot. You know what? I already
The film was made with the objective of mocking the real scripted nature of reality shows. It received mixed violent reactions and positive remarks from critics all over the world. The Joker is usually considered as Batman's greatest villain because of being the biggest psychopath in the DC universe. Fluctuating between cold-blooded comic book killer and television trickster clown, the Joker has been the perfect nasty felon for almost 80 years. However, in the comic book Arkham Asylum by Dave McKean and Grant Morrison, Joker's condition was clearly elaborated by a psychiatrist, clarifying that she doesn't even consider him to be clinically or criminally insane. And the Batman even believes that the Joker is just claiming insanity to obtain lower verdicts for all his crimes and killings. Method acting. Overall, even without the similarities between the Joker and Joaquin Phoenix, Joaquin can still win the Oscars just because of his method acting. Joaquin is a legendary actor because he seriously transforms himself into the role by abandoning his current lifestyle and shutting himself out of his real world. Aside from researching for the time settings of the stories of his films, he also studies the economic status, relationships, and logical situations surrounding his character. He deep dives and completely immerses himself into the personality of his role before starting the whole project.
You gotta shave one testicle, all the crabs go over to the other testicle. You gotta light the hair on fire on that one. When they all go scurrying out, you take a nice pick and you fucking stab every single last one.
In conclusion, Joaquin Phoenix historically has so much to give for us as the Joker. The Joker has been played by a lot of award-winning actors, and even if he doesn't win the Oscars for this movie, it can be certain that he will bring in a great performance. It will be absolutely refreshing, definitely unbound by the limits of acting, and completely unchained by the limits of the stories behind the Joker.